Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jennifer Ngumalo. I do hope that you enjoy it here, such that you click that red subscribe button on the bottom. That is if you are not subscribed as yet, because we would like to have you in this family. And also thank you to each and everyone that has actually joined this family, that is part of this family, constantly showing me love, showing up, and just, commenting on my videos, liking each and every one of my videos, because that does help with the growth of this channel. And this channel has been growing, and for that I'm really grateful. And also I wanted to come back here and also report that we finally got paid in this channel. So we are finally on the payroll of Google. So yes, it is a big achievement, and I thought that it is important that I come and say that, because I think you guys, that I try as much as possible to be transparent with you. I've been sharing my journey with you. I've been setting goals such as, getting monetized. And then when I was monetized, and then it was the issue of receiving the PIN. And for the longest time, I was not receiving my PIN. But finally, I was able to get through that hurdle I never received my PIN. But however, I managed to actually register, do everything that I needed to do. And we finally got paid. And so I wanted to come here and say thank you, tell you that yes, we got paid, and also say thank you to each and every one of you. Please continue to show me love and support, because I really appreciate it. So without further ado, on today's video, we are going to be looking at how can you start saving. Let's say, for instance, you have been really struggling, like you do want to save. You see these videos that say, I saved 10,000 in 6 months, I saved 100,000 in a year, I saved this much, and it makes you aspire to that same thing, whereby you are able to save a certain large number of amount. However, you just don't know where to start, or if you have started, you are really struggling to be consistent. And so on today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how can you actually develop practices of saving, make it second nature to save. So we're going to look at those points. If you want to know more, please stick around. So the first thing that I just wanted us to talk about is your income. I think it is easy to aspire to save, but if you don't understand your income and how much it can stretch, then you're going to constantly struggle to save. You know why? Because you are always going to be over ambitious for your salary, such that you're going to commit yourself to save this large amount of money. However, because you have not looked at your income and how much it can stretch, you find that you are saving, but then you're going back to your savings. I remember this is what Nicolette always preaches, that there is no point in you saving and then down the line in the month you're going back into your savings because now you have run out of money. There is a sign that you have not taken time to look at your money and what it can do for you on a month-to-month basis. And so this point is basically saying, take time to look at your income, look at how much you get paid, look at your expenses, look at your living expenses on a monthly basis, and also look at your commitments. So let's say, for instance, you have some sort of policies, life covers, and other things. Look at those things, look at how much you have to pay for those things, look at your monthly expenses, your rent, your groceries, your transport money, your electricity, your water, your child's school fees if you have a child. Like, look at it holistically, and then calculate and see how much money is left after you've done all of that. The money that is left after you've done all of that is money that you can potentially save. So if you don't know, I actually preach weekly spending. I used to not do this until I found that it works, and I didn't just come up with this. I also took it from Nicolette. Since I started spending on a weekly basis, especially allocating my allowances on a weekly basis, like in terms of my groceries and the things that I need to run by in my household, I break it down into weekly basis. And so once you have done your expenses, all your expenses out, you've also included money for food. That is groceries for just when you get paid. So I want you to take it further and actually look into the money that is left and see how much money are you willing to spend each and every week. So maybe let's say, for instance, after you have done everything, the money that is left is around 4,000. I know that this is not the case for everyone. Sometimes you find that the money that is left is just 2,000. Even if it's 2,000, look at that money name. So you've already allocated money for groceries. That's money for like when you get paid okay, you go and buy those big groceries. I would say that from the 2,000, take at least the 1,000, and the 1,000 is money that's going to keep you going for the entire month. So that's going to be money that you are going to put aside as your weekly allowance. And I'm sharing this with you because this is something I've been talking about. This is something that I do also, and I think it's going to help you to actually build that habit of saving and actually see the progress as time goes on. Because it sucks to tell yourself that you are saving, but only to find that down the line you are going back to your savings and then you are back from square one. So take the 1,000 out, put it aside. That is money, that is your weekly allowance, ne? And then you are left with 1,000 grand. That is how much you can save. Even though you may look at it and it may look small, for someone else it may be 2,000, for someone else it may be 500, but that is being practical. That is money that you can save right now. And I would say that stomach that and take that with a positive attitude, because end of the day, some people can't even save that little that you can save, Wena. So if there's money that you can save after you've done all of this, be grateful for that. Be grateful for that, because I think the reason why we struggle so much with things in life is that we tend to not be grateful. We always wanting more, such that we take for granted the things that we have. And so I want you to look at that 500, to look at that 1,000, to look at that 1,500, 2,000, and actually be grateful for it. So that is money that you are able to save. Number 2, I would recommend you to evaluate your lifestyle. Now, remember, you've done your budget, you've set out your weekly allowance. Now, I like the part of evaluating your lifestyle, but I feel like it will work. It goes hand in hand with giving yourself weekly allowances. Now, I want you to, the reason why I say it's important to evaluate your lifestyle is because you want to look at your spending. You want to look at the things that matter the most to you and things that you enjoy doing. And as you are trying to save, you are not sacrificing a lot of those things. Yes, some of them you can sacrifice, but there are things that you just cannot sacrifice because they're going to make your life miserable. And the last thing you want to do is to be saving and your life feeling like it's a misery. And so evaluate your lifestyle, evaluate the things that bring you joy and how much do you spend on them. Now, this is something that you can look into while you're busy with your budget so that you can kind of plan for them. And after you've done all those planning, you will be able to come down to a figure of, okay, this is how much money is left each and every month after I've understood my income and also I've understood my lifestyle. And then the third thing that I would suggest you to do is to start small. I know that when we see, as I said in the beginning of this video, when you see someone say I saved 10,000 in 6 months, I saved 100,000 in a year, it is inspirational, and you want to actually get there, such that when you're thinking of saving, you're thinking of large amounts. When it comes to saving, you guys, if you are not used to saving, or even if you are used to saving, the goal of saving is not to save as much as you can. But the goal with saving is to develop the practice of saving, is to save something in a month. If you get paid in a month, the goal is to be able to save something in the month. That is the biggest goal when it comes to saving, not to save the largest amount. Yes, that can be your secondary goal, but the primary goal should always be to save something. Because if you have hacked that point whereby the goal is to just save something, then you are at the right path. You are at the right path. As you go on in life and as your salary increase, as you get a new job that pays you more, then you can actually have a secondary goal after your primary goal to say that, okay, now I want to push myself to save as much as I can. But the primary goal always when it comes to saving, it is just to save. Because the issue is with many of us, many South Africans, many people cannot save. They can't save. The idea of the practice of saving for them, they've not cultivated. They're honestly struggling to save. And so that's why I'm saying the primary goal when it comes to saving is to save something. Not how much, not the biggest amount, but to just save. So if it means that in that month you were able to save 500, that is what you were able to save. If you were able to save 250, that is how much you were able to save. Pride yourself of that, because you are on the right direction. You are on the right direction. You don't want to be saying, okay, I want to save the largest amount. You make all these sacrifices, and then let's say, for instance, you are saving 4,000 per month. However, you saving 4,000 per month means that you had to pause a lot of things. Now you save for 6 months and you've reached this big goal, because this is what you see people doing, where they are able to save 10,000 grand in 6 months, or however, then you decide to do the same. You will save, get to that goal. The next thing, you are exhausted. You now start seeing that, oh my God, this was a lot. And then you back to not saving at all, because you had to put a lot of things on pause just because you wanted to push this big goal. Unless if the goal is to do something very important. So let's say, for instance, you are planning to buy a house. If you are planning to buy a house and maybe you want money to pay for transfer costs, and lawyer fees, then it makes sense that you pause some things and just push this goal. But if you just want to save a big amount for the sake that you just want to see yourself having that big amount, then there's no point into that. And then the fourth thing is to repeat this thing over and over and over until it becomes second nature. You understanding your income, you understanding your lifestyle, you saving, just saving. Repeat this over and over until it becomes second nature. You want, for you, when it comes to your budget, the part of savings should be a non-negotiable. It should be a thing that is just standard in your budget, that every month we make it a point in this household that we save something. If you have reached that point, you will know that you are on the right path, and actually you have won. It's just a matter of continuing on and on, And then the last thing is, be clear with your desired outcome. So, as I said, the primary goal when it comes to saving is to just save, to start, to save as little as you can, or as much as you can, but the goal is to just start. However, you also need to be clear about your desired outcome. So your one person's desired outcome could be, I just want to save. I just want to push myself that each and every month I save, because I want to make sure that I have a nest egg. There is a desired outcome to be able to save so that you can have a nest egg. For another person, it's just merely to save because they've never saved in their lives. They've never had a cushion in their lives. Every time when a financial commitment will come that is of agency, they will have to borrow from people, and they are tired of borrowing from people and they just want to save. That is a desired outcome. For someone else, it could be that, okay, as I'm saving because I'm saving money, and with this money that I'm saving, I would like for it to multiply, to have babies, to grow little babies, to give me some form of interest. That could be your desired outcome. And so just make sure that you understand what is your desired outcome. For me, for the longest time when it comes to saving, it has been to just save so that I can have a nest egg, so that I can have some protection, some cushion around my finances. Because I was finding that because I didn't have a cushion around my finances, whenever an emergency will come, I would have to go and borrow from a bank, and then I'll find myself in debt. And so that was my desired outcome when it comes to saving, and I worked on that until it became second nature to save. And then I took it further by dealing with my debt such that the money that I could save increased. And then the last thing that I just wanted to say that I didn't mention here is make your savings automatic such that there will be a bank account that it goes into. However, it doesn't have to be that it's money that you cannot access. I don't know if I'm going to make sense with this point. I know that there are things such as fixed savings and all that other stuff. If you do not have any sort of cushion in your life, the last thing you want to do is to have a 32-day notice savings. That's the last thing you want to do, because the next thing you're going to go and cancel that, and they're going to charge you for canceling that. If you're going to have a 7-day notice and there's something that comes up and you really need money now, but then now you have to wait for 7 days. Like, I know that this is practice that is being preached, but for me, as a person that lives on a basic salary and has been in that position, the last thing you want is to have your money committed in a 7-day notice, or being committed into a 32-day notice. That is the last thing you want, unless you've already built a nest egg somewhere that will be easily accessible for you. then making such a decision is fine. But if you don't have anything on the side, you don't have any money on the side saved that you can easily access, the last thing you want to do is to take those savings and commit them into such things. Because the next thing, you're going to go borrow from someone money because you say, my 32-day notice has not exhausted. Like, don't do that to yourself. And so I would say avoid doing that if you don't have any other savings that you can easily access. Time Bank, at the end of the day, it is the best bank when it comes to saving. And whilst you're saving, it does give you a little bit of interest. And also the money is easily accessible. You can also save with your bank. If you bank with Capitec, you can save with Capitec, but Capitec gives no interest. Like, I'm not even going to front about that. Capitec does not give out interest, but they will charge you one. They will charge you. Come then, cancel your 32-day notice. They will charge you. I remember that I was saving and I needed money quickly, and then they told me that they're going to charge me 700 and something from my 15,000 that I had saved. Imagine being charged 700 and something when you haven't even given me close to that when it comes to interest. And so that is what I'm talking about. Don't put your money in these notices. Just put your money in a savings account that you can easily access. Look into your bank account and see where you can save your money. But Mina, I would say avoid putting it in your bank, in your account, in the same bank that you use for your normal banking. Get another bank like Time Bank and save it there. And also another thing, do not keep money in your transactional account. Do not, unless if there's a commitment for it, like there's going to be a debit order for it. It makes sense to keep it there, ne? But for anything else, if you've paid for everything, all your monthly obligations, and you say, okay, this is money that I'm able to save, don't keep it in your everyday account. Don't keep it in your transactional account. Move it into a savings account. Move it away from there. You will thank me one day. You will thank me one day. And this is not for you, but it's to protect your assets, is to protect your money. That is all that I wanted to talk to you guys about when it comes to building the habit of saving and just, building it until it becomes like second nature to you and just getting you started. I do hope that this video does inspire you and that eventually you will get to a stage whereby you say, I saved 10,000 in a year, or I saved 20,000 in a year or 100,000. You will get to that point. Even myself, I'm still working towards that point, but I don't have such goals anyway. So with that being said, until I see you on the next one, please take care and stay safe. Bye.